I think some people don't even know. They're just driving down going, cool, let's mud down here because look, somebody's doing. And I think we need to put some signs up first to just let them know that no, that's not okay. And, you know, go from there.
Right.
Just letting you know, we're watching it, we're watching them, we're trying to communicate through them.
What you really gotta understand is if there's one track, there'll be 100 tracks.
And that's what I heard.
I mean, that's the rule of thumb, so
That's what
I
I
don't care if it's here or
Right.
Your back.
So maybe some signs will help, because I think a lot of the guys just don't know that they should be doing that. So. Let's see, we had a new user connect back in November in the West Meadow Court area. They did a great job. That was a great connection. On November 17th, we received a call saying that the grinder station 4 was alarming. That was an easy one. The floats had just twisted around each other, so they were caught and weren't functioning. So we untwisted them, cleaned them up. We had 2 sofas that were dumped at PV3 on December 2nd. That was sad. So we removed them and brought them up to the transfer station.
Did we send any evidence for DNA to?
I don't think you'd want to.
Oh, okay.
We took advantage of the decent weather outside. We actually opened up the windows and focused on the interior when we had one of those, 55-degree days. And something we've been wanting to do for years, we stripped all the floors of the 10 years of wax buildup and resealed them and polished them.
They look marvelous.
Came out nice. We're happy about that. And then as a reminder, the next scheduled meeting is for March 24th. And then I just wanted to move right into the equipment list that you guys have in front of you. And yeah, so this was really born of Henry's suggestion to put together an equipment list to go with the next budget.
Well, I think this place is old enough, you better start having one.
And I appreciate the suggestion. It was definitely a great exercise.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Good.
I think it's good that it shows the equipment when it went into service. As we change stuff out, we'll be able to, update those so we won't go with that. Was that 2008 or 2010? We'll have a list to go
Right.
to that'll show it. And at the end, I just put a little summary of what I have in my mind for the 5-year plan, the 10-year plan, and then the capital plan. And then the equipment that I want to replace this year is shown in red. And then you'll see those on the associated line items in the budget.
I have a question for you. What do you plan on doing with the 2006 GMC one-ton truck?
Keeping it.
Okay.
We need a second vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
We really do.
Yeah.
And it's in
I didn't
great
know-
shape and we've kept it.
I didn't know if you were going to trade it in or what. That's
We
what I'm
really
asking.
need the second.
Yeah.
It's time.
No, I
So
agree. I agree.
We've made do in other ways, but, so I guess this is a start.
And-
It'll change and I'll add to it and expand and,
And I do have one more question.
Absolutely.
Forgive me, but how many garage bays do we have here?
3.
So both trucks can be
yeah,
put in?
absolutely.
Great.
Yeah,
Right.
So the truck, we're looking to replace that when?
this year. That's right. Okay, so the 3 pieces of equipment that I have for fiscal 2017 are in red. In this column, one would be the truck. The truck, what I did was build in $55,000 for a 5-year loan. So it's basically $11,000 per year for the next 5 years is what I built. I needed to start somewhere. So if you have any suggestions or anything, feel free to throw that out.
Would you put them out to bid?
Yes. Yeah, and what I did was I went online and I went to like Ford and GMC and Chevy and looked at what a base work truck would be. That was around $35,000 really for any one of them, no matter which one you looked at. And then we'll have the non-negotiables, like it's gonna have to have a plow, it's gonna have to have a lift, and it's gonna have to have exterior tool chests built onto it. So
What about,
those will be the 3 adds.
what about emergency lighting?
Right, we'll have the light and, yeah, we have the beacon light on this truck now, so.
And don't they make a flasher package too?
You can put in your spec when you put the truck.
What are they, is that what they call it, a flash?
Yeah, it's a
hazard.
Well, it used to be strobe, but now it's LED.
Right. Okay.
So.
That might be a good thing for you.
So this truck has a plow right now?
Yes,
So the second one would have a plow also?
absolutely, we definitely.
Okay.
We've had to use other trucks, to help
Okay.
plow when the snow gets really bad, and we've got all the stations and the plant to keep up with.
Okay.
So that would
Okay.
definitely be wonderful.
Okay.
And lots of times when we have that truck backed over a hole and we're lifting a pump and we don't have a tool, you know, I have to run back.
So you're thinking maybe a service body?
Yeah, you know, we still want the back,
Like a utility,
Yeah,
they call it a utility body.
maybe like a Ronnie.
I was just gonna say a
Yeah,
Ronnie
maybe
truck.
sort of like that,
Yeah.
but with the lift in the back. And I think a half ton would be okay, but half, 3/4. This one's a 1 ton. I don't think we
Yeah,
necessarily need a 1 ton.
you could probably get away with a 3/4
Yeah,
ton,
you can probably get away with 3/4 ton.
which might save you in getting the body and stuff,
Exactly.
you know.
So I'll obviously write up the specs and all of
Okay.
that and let you guys see it, and if you have any
Okay.
suggestions, great.
Okay.
You know, throw them in there and,
You know, lift, you're talking like a tailgate lift or a hoist lift?
like a pump lift, you know, like a crane.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
there we go.
Sure.
Yeah, to lift the pumps and
Sure.
everything. The one we're using now is, you know, it's 10 years old, so it's probably time to look at.
No, it saves a lot of lifting, it saves a lot of
Yes.
back, yeah.
In time,
Yes.
you know, I
How
mean,
much was the one that just Walt's garage just got, that's got a service body on it, right?
Yeah, but I don't know.
You don't remember out here? Just curious.
Just at this point,
Do you-
building it into the budget so you're aware
Sure, sure.
that I've done a little research, I know what I
Oh.
want, and
No.
we're building it in for replacement.
Great.
The other item
what,
is,
what totally equipped, what kind of number are we gonna, how much? No,
for the truck.
well, for the truck, then, you know, then you gotta add the plow to it, then you're gonna add, you know, the list is,
Right.
don't,
I was
be
thinking
careful, the list is almost as much as the ad is as much as the truck. I'm serious.
55,000 over a 5-year period is what I was thinking.
Okay, okay.
So it would be, you know, a smaller hit each year to the users, but we would be replacing equipment that needs to be replaced instead of just going, oh my God, the truck's died.
Right.
And it's 12 years old and we didn't build any money in, and what are we gonna do? So we
Right.
just don't wanna end up in that
No.
position, you know?
Very good idea, very good.
Also, the remote telemetry unit, that would be under pump stations PC1. We are gonna replace one of those this year, in this fiscal year. It was built into the budget. So one for next fiscal year. And a pump and motor assembly, I got a quote on that for PV1. Right now, I only have one rebuild on the shelf, and that doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy. We really need another new pump because of how often we have to pull those and clean debris out of them and change them, so it's just necessary. So those are the 3 big items that I added into the budget. But like I said, on the last page, the 5-year plan is really purchase, pay off that new truck, get a new, got the new 1 RTU, 1 or 2 per year as money allows.
What's
Get
an
another, it's an input-output terminal. It's how we interface at the pump station. It's the touch screen.
Okay.
Yeah. We need another grinder pump for backup, and I really want to get a 10.1. You see I put all the model numbers on each of the grinder stations and when they've been replaced, so you can see there are a couple, we've already done 3 of them actually. And, but if you look at style 10.1, I don't have one of those on the shelf. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's gonna be a priority probably for next year. And I'd like to look into, and I know we've discussed this too, Jason, the VFDs, the variable frequency drives for the pump stations. At least start thinking about getting someone in there.
There is,
seeing
I
what they do.
can pass that along to you.
Okay, great.
I mean,
And
most of them are
we-
being, most of them are being serviced now yearly.
Right, and that would be great to add that in. I just wanted to get it in writing, so follow through. And let's see, our new permit is being issued this year. So I need to review and budget for necessary mandates. I mean, hopefully there won't be any additional ones, but you never know when you get a permit issued, if there is or there isn't, so. The 10-year plan will be to reevaluate the PLC system, and that's the main computer system here because the SCADA is the one in the office, the PLC is the controls for the plant. At that point, when we start looking at that, it'll be 15 to 20 years old. So I'm sure some of those electronics, computers, really should be addressed. Get someone in here to check that out. And again, just keep evaluating which pumps and motors have been replaced, plan for future replacement, and that capital plan, just build that capital account to prepare for those infrastructure issues that may come down the road. So that's that guy in a nutshell. I hope that's what you were looking for, Henry.
Well, I think, actually, I think you're late doing it. I mean, you know, no, what I'm saying is, it's a snap.
Yes.
And now you've got to face it, is what I really meant by it.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
That's the problem when you have a place like this and
Yeah.
everything is new.
Yeah. And I had it,
I mean, it's great.
I had it in my head,
It's great.
it just wasn't on paper, I guess, but
Yeah.
now that it's here and on
Yeah.
paper, it's
Yeah,
tangible,
but-
and anyone
but
can pick it
that's
up
right.
and touch it.
That's right.
and-
It's great while it's new, but it isn't new forever.
Right, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that when this place is put together, you already got all the information on how long the pump should be lasting and da. So, you know, you can put your plan together and make it work, I think, as long as you don't grab your feet, and I think you're on the right track.
Right, and we also know, because of our run times, which stations run longer, which run less, which take more abuse, which one needs more cleaning, so,
And this whole
Sort of.
facility is 10 years old?
yes.
Yeah.
yes.
So it's not new anymore.
Isn't that-
Right, exactly.
That was my point, when I brought it up, that was.
And you
Well,
gotta,
a good
and
idea.
you gotta understand too that wastewater equipment has a lifetime expectancy,
Right,
30,
because it's so cost effective, you know.
30, 25, maybe 30.
So if we look at those pumps every year, evaluate what we need, and then plan for it, so we're not getting hit all at once.
Well, that's the whole
the
idea.
best way to handle it. So we're off to a good start with that. And then, okay, so that wraps me up for my report, and then
Now
just
we'll do
look
the,
right into the budget.
Yeah, let's go right into the budget.
Okay, so February, I give you guys the draft budget, so you can sort of just get a review of it, and then if you have any questions, comments, let me know, and we can incorporate it for the March approval. Let's see. I'm just gonna jump to the line items that
Which 1% or money?
probably we're gonna stick out. I don't think it matters, they're
No,
the same,
okay.
except for one is a percent change and one's a
Mhm.
monetary change, and I guess Ellen wanted you guys to have both, so that you could, yeah, that's. You do either.
And where are we going?
Well, I'll just start right up with the
Okay.
revenues. And of course, you know, the wastewater billings is the total budget minus the other revenues divided by the number of users we have on our system, which is 694. So that's where that comes from. There's not much difference in the other revenues except delinquent charges billed. Ellen wanted me to drop that to 65, so I did. And if you move into the expenses, I think I just moved wages up to where it should be after you incorporated raises and then added Jeff's extra day and all of that happened. It's not that much, it's 2,000, I think. Let's see. FICA expense, that was Alan's recommendation too, that we increase that. And we were able to decrease the health insurance. We didn't use it this year, we're just using the stipend part of it, so I thought that was reasonable. And let's see, we're also able to adjust the workers' comp insurance down, because it's a single year, it's a once a year billing now, and that billing's already gone out at 64.25, so that was reasonable. Let's see, so the delinquent tax collector fees, and I'm jumping down to administrative. Again, that was Ellen suggesting to bring that down to 65, so be even with the revenue. The next thing that probably jumps out is the 11,000, and that's where I added in the truck, right? No, I'm sorry, that's property and casualty. I apologize, that's property and casualty. That is, again, lowered. We paid out $8,550 in January, and then we won't get billed again until next January. So we're able to bring that down a bit, but just leave enough flex because insurance is insurance, and it probably will increase some, right? So, let's see. Think of anything else. Chemicals, we're doing really good on. Lowered that a little bit. Electricity, that pretty much stayed the same. I'm trying to find out my. Okay, equipment support purchases. That was an increase of 3,400. That's taking into consideration the 5,000 that we already used, I know, and then incorporating the other 2 pieces of equipment. That would be the pump and the RTU, OIT, output input terminal. Heating fuel, I brought it down. I mean, we're doing really good, and it looks like the prices are remaining low. So, took a chance and lowered that one. Not much, not drastically, but just a little bit. We can recoup for it if it does go back up.
How did you, because we locked in with greens and that, right?
Yeah, we did. And we're making monthly payments on that. So that was helping with the cash flow, not paying it all out at once. Yeah.
We were what, 235?
225 we came in at.
So I don't know if it's worth.
Pretty locked in.
Yeah.
For next year, yeah, that's I mean, I'm even considering that for home. Not doing the budget for next year, so yeah, we'll have to consider that when we.
I'm not sure the difference between diesel and oil is.
You want to know how much?
Diesel.
The difference in price between.
Heat, what do you got, heat and oil?
How much is diesel?
$1.53 today.
Wow.
For heating.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Amazing. It's just never ended that nicely.
You'd probably be better off not locking in.
And in years past,
If you didn't lock in.
it has been a benefit.
Yeah,
So that's a tough one.
That's gonna be a very tough one.
That's
You wanna
gonna
be
be
careful
a
with
tough
that,
one.
because,
at
you
least
know.
if you lock in, you know what your budget is. If you
Right,
don't,
right. Believe me, it comes down a lot slower than it
But when
goes
it's
up.
gonna go up, it's going overnight. Well,
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
you can count on your gas.
Yes, it's gonna
You know,
go.
come on.
Well, that makes sense anyway, she dropped it to 1,000 regardless how we pay for it.
just a safety buffer for safety.
Yeah.
And again, with the pump station fuel too, because that's propane, and that's also dropped. So, I just dropped that a couple thousand too. Let's see. I'm trying to look for,
Of course, it's been.
okay, and then the vehicle maintenance is where I added in the truck payment. So that's where you see that reflected. That's why that's so much more. And then contingency, Ellen was pretty, she wanted to see at least 3%. And this year we were able to add that 3%, and so that's where the 5.9 to the 10.5 comes from. I think those are the line items that I wanted to sort of pull out that may have jumped out at you. Is there anything else that you have questions on? Or?
Contingencies, 5%?
It has to be at least 3.
But it's 5 here, right?
It says 5 there. We have been eking it up slowly, over the years, so. If we just haven't had the money to raise trying not to raise the user fees, every year, so. This year, we just needed to take that jump, and we were gonna raise the budget anyway because of the truck, so we incorporated the contingency as well. Now, from here on out, it will be at least 3% or more, between 3 and 5, depending on. how
And what's
many
that
budget
showing rate, in the rate right now, what's the increase in actual rate?
Okay, the increase in the rate. So it's going to come out at $12 a year, or $3 per quarter. It's 2.6% more, and that's the first increase in 3 years. So if you look at it that way, it's less than 1% per year for the past 3 years. That's the budget in a nutshell.
Good
And
job.
our plant's getting older and so is the equipment, so wise move.
We need to start thinking.
Yep.
Anything else on your agenda for tonight?
And now, there's one other item, is the sewer decommissioning, so that should be a quickie.
Okay.
242 Dean Road, Chris and Christian Dickinson bought the house, they're the neighbors. The house is being taken down, they're demolishing it, they're turning it back to nature. They're hoping this weekend it will be taken down. So hopefully you're approving this. I've drafted a letter saying you would approve it with the condition that the single-family home located at 242 shall be demolished and removed prior to the sewer decommissioning.
Right.
So if you
So on that
prove it,
one,
that's fine.
so quick question on that, so they have to go out to the edge of the road and dig and disconnect it?
Wherever we find it, it's really up to me, really.
Okay. Just out
It's
of
discretional, wherever seems to be the easiest point where we can disconnect it and it's safe and all of that.
curiosity. Okay.
So I'll take a motion on that.
Yes.
Move to approve the decommission.
Okay.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, and that is the last item that I have.
All right, very good. Good job.
So what's that gonna
Again,
bring our AU count down to now?
So it'll be 693. Yeah. Which won't make a big difference on the whole
Hopefully.
budget.
Gain a new one to
Yes.
replace an old one.
Actually, and I'll,
The way it's
I'll
kinda
speak to
works.
that, we have that dairy bar up on Center Street, and I think they're gonna move along on that. He's already given his preliminary, they're putting together
Yeah,
drawings.
that's all been kind of in place, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think he's gonna have 3, if I remember correctly, from
What
the
about-
application, so there'll be more for.
what about the new Southwest Vermont Medical Center?
They're not in the
They're not
area.
on.
They're not on.
They're not in the area, so
Okay.
we're still there, yeah. It ends at Greenmount Park, really, that's sort of the
Okay.
end of that.
That's the end of it, okay. All right, just want to remind people, if it doesn't belong in any drain, don't put it down there. That includes the wipes, the diapers, things like that, cloth. It does not belong in there. It only amounts to more money being spent and time and labor and parts. So if it doesn't belong down the drain, don't put it down the drain.
If you think you should put it in the garbage, then just put it in the
Yeah.
garbage, don't. And you know what's another big one is cigarette butts.
Okay.
Cigarette butts get caught in those suction flappers,
Yeah.
and they're a bugger to take apart those suction lines. We have to do it to get to the flapper to get the cigarette butt out. So you wouldn't think so, but
Just be mindful.
great.
So with that, I will take a motion for adjournment. Somebody?
Don't, we're staying.
Okay.
It's nice here.
You like
You
it?
wanna stay?
I move to adjourn.
Good.
I second.
All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
All
Thank you.
right.
Yep, good job.
We can stay, Henry. if you want.
You know, I'm gonna relax now. Probably been running all day.